Captain Keyes! I can fly! What's up, fellow collectors? Today I'm talking about the Halo Reach Series 3 ODST Jetpack Trooper from the UNSC side of the war. Really cool. Comes with the figure, obviously, a jetpack, and a pistol. On the back here you can see all the characters that come out within Series 3. There's a whole bunch of single figures and a whole bunch of 2-packs, but it doesn't show you those on the back here. And then on the front, you get a nice picture of what the ODST looks like in the game. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, open this guy up, and see what it's all about. Alright, I got this guy opened up, and I do have a few complaints about this figure. First of all, getting the pistol in his hand is actually a little bit difficult because his hands are really closed tight, so you gotta be careful putting this pistol in his hand. You might even want to heat up his hands a little bit with a blow dryer or with some warm water so the plastic becomes a little bit more, stretchy, and you could get his fingers open and put his weapon in there, because if you just try and force the pistol in there, you might end up snapping his fingers off, and that wouldn't be good. Second thing is this little pouch here, just with no effort at all, pretty much just falls right out. Well, it doesn't do it there, but yeah, it pretty much falls right out. It sucks. It is cool that you can take his pouch off, but you should be able to put it back on and it should be able to stay there, but unfortunately it just kind of wiggles around and it just falls off. Same with his shoulder pads too. You can take those off and you could actually put them on another Spartan, and if you wanted you could take this and plug it on the the side peg hole for the Halo Reach Spartans or Halo 3 Spartans, and it would fit on there. Unfortunately the armor, when you plug them back in to the ODST, they just tend to fall right out, and that kind of sucks. I want my armor to be able to stay on my guys so that way when I display them, they're not going to fall all over the place and fall on the floor. This jetpack, though, he also comes with, pretty cool. I do like it a lot. I wish that there was some articulation with these jets so you can close them in so it doesn't look like it's activated all the time, because obviously it's not going to be flying around all the time. But there's some nice detail on it. You can see UNSC right there, and it has the UNSC logo there. So that's really nice, and the paint job is pretty good. Now it connects with a little peg hole right there, or a little peg. And basically there's a peg hole on his back, and bam, you just plug it in there. And it fits real snug, it doesn't fall off, that's good, unlike his armor. So at least I got that right with the figure. Now I really do enjoy all of his detail. There's a ton of detail on here. It's a really great display figure, because you got all his bands here, all his his armor bits, all these pockets and pouches all over him. Those look really nice. His shin armor looks really good. I really like the way those came out, and I liked his boots a lot. There's a little bit of articulation in the boots, not too much, but that's enough to get him to pose in a couple different poses, so I guess that's alright. The biggest problem I have with the articulation is there is no swivel here at his bicep, so if you wanted to put like a sniper rifle or an assault rifle or a DMR in his hands, something that requires, two hands to hold, he won't be able to, swivel his arm across to grab a hold of the weapon, so that's a bit of a bummer. And I'm actually probably going to end up modifying him so he can hold his DMR or another weapon I'd give him, so that's kind of a bummer. But I do really like the ODST helmet. That's really nice. It's got the stripe across here. It's got a little scope piece here on his helmet that looks really cool. And I wish that the ODST helmet was a little bit of a darker blue color. It seems like in the game that they have a little bit of a darker blue visor instead of like this really light, almost silver visor. But that's just me being picky. Maybe in the game they do look like that. Now I'll probably have to go look. Probably wrong, but whatever. Very cool stuff though. Even though the figure only comes with a pistol, I think that's kind of a cop-out, so that way they can say, hey look, he can hold his gun. Don't worry about the whole bicep swivel thing, don't worry about it. It's kind of lame on their part, on McFarlane's part. If you're going to create any sort of action figure nowadays, if you don't include really good articulation to where they can hold their guns. The action figure market is so competitive. People are just going to pass up these guys because, they want figures that can hold their guns, that they can use for displays, that they can use for stop motions. They can, put them in a cool pose and hold a sniper rifle or something like that. So it's kind of definitely a loss on McFarlane's part, especially since the ODSTs are really cool characters and I really want them to shine out in my collection. They're definitely some of my favorite characters in the entire Halo saga. All in all, though, it's a good figure to get for a display, or if you want to army build with them. I'm sure you can get a bunch of ODSTs together. Unfortunately, you can't get them all to get in like a shooting position. If you want to do that, you're gonna have to, go ahead and modify them. You can basically take off their armor pads, cut right above the bicep right here after you heat it up, and you can install a peg hole so you can swivel back and forth. But there's some tutorials online that will show you how to do that. I'm going to end up following a tutorial to do that myself. So one of the cool things about the ODST is that he's in scale with all the other figures, because he's more of a basic human figure. So like we have a Spartan, and Spartans are obviously, taller than the ODSTs because they're Spartans or whatever. And then here's like another basic figure like Captain Keyes. He's a little bit taller than Captain Keyes because he's got his armor on, but still around the same scale range there. And then you have an Elite. Elites are just freaking massive, a couple heads taller than the ODSTs and the Spartans. So it all looks really good together on display. Definitely would pick this guy up for a display, absolutely. The jetpack also you can put on the Spartan if you want. You can take it off and put it on the back of a Spartan or any other figure that has like this back area for a peg, mainly the Spartans. So that's another cool thing you could do with them. Overall, it's a pretty good figure. It's got a lot of great detail, and I just wish that the articulation was better. If the articulation was, just as good as other lines like G.I. Joe, or even with the Spartan characters that McFarlane makes, this would be a top-notch figure. I'm sure people would be buying these left and right because they want to get good figures with good articulation, but fortunately you can't with this guy. It sucks, but it is what it is. I picked him up anyways because I just love the ODSTs. Probably going to pick up a couple more to army build a little bit with them. So yeah, check out my channel, guys. I got a ton of Halo stuff on there, and I got a ton of other action figures from other lines on there. So go ahead, check out my channel, subscribe to this one so you don't miss any new reviews I come out with, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.